Hi comic book fans, and welcome to another suddenlycomics.com video. Got a little special one for you today. I'm going to show you some very rare comics. So I'm going to show you the early issue Spider-Man comics, Amazing Spider-Man comics that I picked up in an auction last week. I picked these. I bought these basically. I spent quite a lot of money. And they are part of my portfolio of investments. Comics are part of my portfolio of investments. The comics have performed extremely well as a category, as an asset category, over the last 5 years, 10 years, and 20 years, and 30 years. So a really good asset to have in your portfolio. Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man, particularly good. Why? Because the price of a comic is dependent upon its condition, it's dependent upon its rarity, and dependent upon its desirability. And Spider-Man is extremely desirable. I would say at the moment he is the most recognizable comic character, mainly because of the movies, and the Spider-Man movies have been better and more successful than any of the other superhero comic character movies. So for me, Spider-Man hits the desirability button, and the early issues of Amazing Spider-Man, which date from the 1960s, hit the rare button. Now, the ones I'm going to show you hit even rarer button, which I'll talk about when I show you the comics. Here we go. The first one, it is Amazing Spider-Man number 5. It is the first appearance of Dr. Doom outside of the Fantastic Four. I think Doom is great spec. If you want to get this one, I would get it sooner rather than later, because we are going to get Dr. Doom coming into the MCU. I think Doom is going to get extremely hot. So I'm going to put a scan up now of this one while I talk about it. So I paid about $1,100 for this. I think it's in about a grade of about 3.5 to 4.0. And I think the fair market value is $1,400. So I paid a bit less than fair market value, but as I said, I bought this as an investment. There are a total of 2,783 of these on the CGC census. So not a huge number. You know, there's only 2,700 of these graded in the world. But my one is a UK price variant. There you go. It says 9D. You can see 9D on it. And there are a total of 47 graded UK price variants in the world. I am probably going to go and get these graded. My understanding is that CGC's backlog now is gone, and the turnaround times are much faster. So I am probably going to get these pressed and graded because they're investment comics. So that was the first one. The next one, it's Amazing Spider-Man number 8. Quite a nice cover. This isn't in as good condition. I think this is in a 3.0. It's the first appearance of the Living Brain. that hasn't got a lot of recognition, but we've got the Human Torch. Again, I'm going to put the scan up as I go through the numbers on this one. I think I paid about fair market value for this. I think grade-wise, it's a 2.5 to 3.0. I paid about $390 for it. I think it's worth about $390. On the census, there's 2,173 graded copies. There's only 33 UK price variants. So for every 65 US copies, there's one UK price copy. Okay. Next up, and it is Amazing Spider-Man number 11. There we go. I hope you can see that. The return of Dr. Octopus. I think this is the second appearance of Dr. Octopus. As I'll put the scan up, I'll talk about this. So I paid $440 for this. I think it's in a grade about three to 3.5, 3 to 3.5. Value, I reckon about $550. So again, I've got it for slightly less than fair market value. But as I said before, I think these are good investments. I think this will continue to go up in value. Nobody's printing any more of them. There's only 1,776 of this one on the CGC census, and there's only 35 UK graded copies. So all of these ones I've got here are UK price variants, really, really rare. Okay, next up, and this is great. I do love this cover. It's one of the it's a classic cover. It's the first appearance of Mysterio. There we go. Really nice. Really pleased to have this one in my collection. This is one of the ones I wanted to get. This is a more expensive comic. I paid about $730 for this. I reckon it's in a 3.5, 3.0 to 3.5, and I reckon fair market value is $1,000 to $1,100. So again, I think I've got reasonably less, got a pretty good deal on this one, and 20-30% less than fair market value. There are 3,162 graded on the CGC census, but there are only 60 UK price variants. Again, so for every 100, for every 50, for every 50 US priced copies, there's one UK price copy. Right, next up, and this is a really one I wasn't particularly going for, but it came in a pair, and I think they were a good deal. I got a good deal on these two, and this is Amazing Spider-Man 15. This is the first appearance of Kraven the Hunter, so we are getting Kraven the Hunter. I think he's getting his own film. So putting the scan up here as I talk about it. So I paid about $800 for this one, so it's another expensive one. I think it's in a 3.0. I think it's in a 3.0 to 3.5. So I think fair market value is about $1,200 to $1,300. So again, got a good discount on the fair market value. 2,737 of these being graded on the CGC census. Only 42 UK price variants. So for every 65 US ones, there's one UK one. Very rare. These are definitely going to go to a higher price value than the US variants over a period of time when people begin to understand the rarity. It's already beginning to happen. So you can still pick up UK price variants a bit lower than the US variants. Go and get them because it is changing. Okay, next up we have Amazing Spider-Man number 16. And we've got the first crossover with Daredevil. This is a very early Daredevil because he's in a yellow suit. He is, of course, more known for his red suit. But he was originally in yellow, and in this crossover here, he's in yellow. Okay, what are the numbers on this? Okay, so I paid $350 for this. I think this one is in a 3.0, 2.5 to 3.0. So I think I pretty much paid fair market value for it. But again, I think this is one that's going to increase. Daredevil's getting his own series on Disney Plus. So Daredevil is becoming quite collectible now. Had been sort of very uncollectible for a number of years. So I think it's a good time to pick this one up. There's 2,400 on the CGC census, but only 25 UK price variants on the CGC census. Yep, there are only 25 of these. When I get this graded, it'll be number 26. 26 in the world of this one. And I got one. when I've got it graded, of course. Then finally, it's Amazing Spider-Man number 17. This, I think, is this the second or third appearance of Green Goblin? One of the two. And we've got we've got Human Torch, really nice cover. This one's in slightly better grade. I think this is in a 4.0. Again, I'm going to put the scan up for you as I talk through the numbers. I only paid 250 for this one. I reckon it's worth about 350. So I got a pretty big discount on the fair market value. 2,639 on the CGC census, only 29 UK price variants. So for every 80 US ones, there's one UK one. As I say, very rare. So those are my pickups. Those are my first ones that I'm going to show you from the Stanford auction. I've actually picked up nearly 80 of the first 100 issues of Amazing Spider-Man at this auction. So I'm going to show you a few more of these. I'm going to do them in little chunks like this to keep the videos nice and short. But if you've enjoyed this, leave a comment. Please press the like button. I don't usually say this, but I usually put it up. But it really helps if you put a like up. And also, if you're not subscribed to the channel, I'd love to have you subscribed. So that's your lot. See you again soon.